you. Well, first of all, I have to apologize that you're stuck with me, actually. We've known for a couple of years that there's this big challenge with negative marketing in our industry. And John Getzinger talked about it the other night. He called it fear marketing. And we tried to get some experts to come in here and speak about that, but the experts on that topic are generally marketing professors, and there's a global conference for marketing professors on the other side of Boston going on right now, so none of them could come here. So unfortunately, you're stuck with me, but we do have some new data here to present. We did a couple of omnibus surveys in the last month or so that looked at how users of omega-3s differ from non-users, but then also how the users of omega-3s go through the buying process to decide which products they use. And I thought it would be interesting and valuable to share. And for those of you who are GOED members, you can actually download all of the data from the members section of our website, the raw data to work with. And for those of you who are here at the exchange that are non-members, we're happy to share that information with you as well. So just email me and we'll send that to you. Real quick before I get started, just since we're here in historic Boston, this is actually a photo of a fishing vessel from this wharf taken in the late 1800s. So there is a historical reference to where we're at here. I'm hoping this is going to work. It looks like my slides might be a little oversized here. Okay, so I'll have to adapt here. But part of the reason why we thought this was important to understand how consumers are going through this buying process is because obviously we work with 150 members in this industry, and one of the things we hear all the time is that this is an industry that has very low differentiation. And when you focus on these low differentiation marketing strategies, what often you do is you're prioritizing customers. So your biggest customers, you work with them, you give them extra care.
Oil that separate chunks, cells from the outside. And we know, I'm not going to go into any detail about this because others will talk about it, but I'm sure you all know by now the metabolism of these essential fatty acids, the two families, linoleic acid and alpha-linolenic acid. And the point I want to make about this picture is that to develop docosahexaenoic acid, you not only have a very large number of limiting steps, which makes it very difficult to synthesize in large animals like ourselves, and therefore you need the preformed fatty acid in its own. But not only that, but I'll point out that it takes 6 oxygen atoms just simply to remove the hydrogens to form the 6 double bonds in docosahexaenoic acid, which will become quite important in a minute. Now, during evolution, life started about 3 billion years ago. But for the first 2.5 billion years, nothing much happened. It was basically photosynthesis, and the photosynthetic systems, of course, produced oxygen. And a whole lot of other things produced oxygen as well. But when you came to the Cambrian explosion, which was about 600 million years ago, you had complete new life forms began. For the first 2.5 billion years, you can find no record in the fossil history of any intracellular detail. And suddenly, at 600 million years ago, you find intracellular detail. And not only that, we have the explosion of all 32 phyla that come into existence more or less instantaneously with the advent of oxygen. Now, everybody has talked about this as being